Hello everybody and welcome to another walkthrough video, this time for Summer Major Tournament for qualifying round in Pro Division. I'm showing all my drops over here. If you want to have a text guide, go ahead on the description down below and see the link to Tommy's Patreon. That way you can subscribe and become a patron and also support me doing this walkthroughs. So before we start, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and let's move on. On hole number 1, we're gonna go with an extra mile. In the video here, I'm trying to mimic extra mile level 6 and 7. But if you have more topspin, please use all the topspin you have. Even if you have an extra mile level 9, use all the topspin. If you have a Taurus Hammer level 7 or level 6, you can try to get the chance of a hole in one here. But if you just try to get the eagle and run, then you can play it conservative with 4.5 topspin and 2 left spin. Here I'm using max plus 20% as elevation. And we're gonna take in consideration how many rings we pull into overpower, and we're gonna do 1 ring extra. Trying here to hit the perfect. I think a slight great left, it's safe. Maybe even a double great left, it's safe. I don't know about the great rights though, since the first bounce was close to the rough there. It might work. So from here, we're gonna go on the approach. And here we're gonna use the rapier rule or the Endbringer rule. I'm using here plus 15% Endbringer or plus 15% rapier rule. You'll always gonna see me playing my rapier rule because I find it a lot easier. So I'm doing full topspin over here and see the distance of the pin and divided by 2 using 15% elevation because it's going uphill over here. Only thing we need to do is adjust and try to hit our perfect. And we do hit perfect and, went in the hole. Nice start with an eagle. Very easy par 4, I think, in all kind of wind directions. This was a cross headwind. If we have a cross tailwind, even lower level clubs can have a chance of a hole in one. Let's move on to hole number 2. Hole number 2, we're gonna play with our Grizzly. I do recommend here Grizzly level 7 plus, but I think also Grizzly level 6 can do it. Seen players that did. Unfortunately, they have to check where the second bounce is and the third bounce is. I'm doing 1 backspin and 3 right spin over here, and I'm playing max plus 50% elevation. So before I'm setting the spins, then I'm checking it's going on the right side of the hole over there. And after that, we are trying to pull straight. Unfortunately, over here, I didn't had a possibility to, place wind angles because the tree is in the way, so I don't have anything to reference for. I did have the different wind angles, and I did dropped it the same way. So with high winds like I have now, 7.5, it's the maximum wind you can have. This in this example we have 7.3. We did 2 pulls because of being over 10 rings of adjustment over here. But this one goes nicely dead center, hitting the pin. I did drop it 3 out of 3. You having different wind angles without any issue. So let me know if you drop it. Let me know in the comments below. Let's go to hole number 3. On hole number 3, we're gonna have 2 options depending on how do you want to play it. Unfortunately, the wind it's not so favorable to get an alibi chance with free to play. So I'm using the blue ring by the rough there. I don't have a plus yard reference, so if you have an extra mile level 7 plus, use the ring reference to know where you are pulling. And then I'm going with just free right spin because distance it's not issue for this approach. And I'm playing this one max plus 10%. Like I said, this is a layup for going between the trees for an eagle and drawn on this par 5. So let's move on the approach. So on the approach, we're gonna use our horizon because it gives us some topspin and also a good ball guide. By the left side of this tree, you can go pretty much at the hole. So I placed full topspin there, and then I decided to go with less topspin and try to push it further. But regardless of what I did try, I'm still going to clip the rough and roll out because it's headwind and you don't want to hit the tree. So I do here mid plus 10% as adjustment. I'm placing the ball guide at the hole, but the second bounce actually it's very very close to the rough. So we're gonna see that I will gonna clip it and roll it. You can leave the full topspin if you want to be closer to the hole and just you know, do the second bounce on the rough and roll out. That's pretty much the idea over here with this approach. If you do want to have an Albi shot, I hope you have a better ball. So we're gonna show that in a second, where I used the P4, Wind 4, Sidespin 4. We had that ball so many times. I hope you at least have one ball to use over here. So let's move on to option 2. So on the option number 2, here we're gonna go with the big topper. I'm using a 444 ball, like I said, using full topspin with one right spin. When I'm stretching out to max, I'm having the, let me see it, the blue ring over there, no, red ring over there by the rough. So that's my reference point. So big topper level 5 has that. I think if you have a level 6, we're gonna be half of the red ring inside the rough. And if you have a level 4, we're gonna be about I don't know. No, so if, god damn it. On the second option, we're gonna use our big topper. And when I'm stretching to max, I'm having the red ring by the rough there. Take in consideration that this is big topper level 5. If you have a different level big topper, you have to adjust it accordingly. After that, I am placing full topspin and one right spin. Adjusting max plus 10. And we're gonna use one ring extra overpower than what we pulled into. So in my case, I have 1.5 rings of pulling in overpower. Plus one ring, we're gonna equal 2.2 rings. So let's move on. Here, I am doing closely. Let me see if I can stop it right there. I'm doing 3 rings actually. Yeah. So 1.5 ring overpower. This one bounces nicely over the bunker over here and draws. You see this line over here? You just need to go over it. After that, see this clearing between the trees? This is the perfect spot to be. Around 385 yards. It's the way you want to be at. And let's see what we did on the approach. On the approach, we are using our sniper and we are counting the rings from minimum distance because it's a lot easier. In my case, I think I counted like 4 rings over there. I'm just having the yellow by ending of the rough. Together with 3 backspin and about 1.5 right spin, I'm leaving like 0.7 green squares left of the hole. This is because the wind is pushing me and also the green there, it slopes. I place my ball guide exactly where the hole is, but 0.7 green squares to the left. Now it's time to adjust. So I pushed 4 rings. I did 10% slider at 10% downhill elevation P4 numbers. Here I'm trying to center my ball as best as I can and try to hit perfect. This was a very good chance to drop it. Bounced nicely and rolled into the hole, hitting the pin on its way down. So let me know which one you choose, option 1 or option 2. Let me know in the comments below, and let's move to hole number 4. In hole number 4, we're gonna use our sniper. I'm using a navigator here, and I'm not moving my target at all before adjustment. So here I'm doing 2 clicks of right spin, basically. I'm saying there it's 0.1, but it's literally 2 clicks. So after adjustment, I am adjusting max plus 20, P2, even if I'm using a navigator. And after adjustment, it just try to hit perfect and get a drop. It's been nice to drop it from the first try. We dropped it multiple times, and hope you will as well. This is a very easy hole-in-one to get, so I hope you guys are getting it as well. Went on the left side of the hole there, but still in the hole. So let's move on to hole number 5. In hole number 5, we're gonna go again with our extra mile. Here I'm playing from +8 with my extra mile level 8, and half of the red ring inside the rough on the right. I'm placing the spins, which are free right and 4.5 top spin, and we're gonna go with also half a ball of curl. Of course, this will require us to use some overpower as well, because we are adjusting into OP. So again, we are doing 1 ring plus what you are adjusting into. So if you are adjusting like 0.5 rings of OP, like I am doing right here, so I have 0.5, you're gonna have to do 1.5 rings of overpower. So half a ball of curl, 1.5 rings of overpower, close to 2. You can definitely go with 2 rings, or it doesn't really matter too much, because we're not interested in getting you know, at the end of this fairway. We're just laying up here on hole number 5. 359 yards was perfect, so let's move on the approach. On the approach shot, we are going with the sniper, and as you can see, I'm going exactly below +1 yard, trying to have the ball guide short and about 1 green square left side of the hole. When I'm finding my adjustment properly, there it is. It's time to take our shot. That's why I'm placing their 70% slider on the elevation. It's actually percent, not end, with 15% downhill. I'm adjusting here into plus numbers, but we're not gonna use any overpower, because that's why we're placing at the +0 yard mark. Try to hit perfect here, and you're gonna have another great chance to drop for an albatross. This one hit the pin dead center, and we got the albatross. So let's move on. Hole number 6. Hole number 6, we're using again the extra mile. Now we're gonna go with 4.5 top spin and 1 left spin. What we want to do over here is to bounce directly over, not clipping the rough here. So I am going at +14 with my red ring by the bunker on the right side. And then I'm adjusting. Definitely we're gonna go with overpower, since there is no other way to actually bounce over. So in my case, I'm going I think 1 and something rings in OP after adjustment. Let's see how much we did. Yeah, 1.2 rings, 1.3. And then we're gonna go with 4 rings extra. So I'm gonna go with 5 rings of OP over here. Let's see if we can pause it at the right spot. It was 5 rings of OP. That clears the second bounce to be over the rough there nicely. The great left was safe, but was screwing up a bit the approach shot. A great right was dangerous close to the rough on the right side. So let's move on the approach. On the approach shot, we're gonna use our sniper. I'm gonna count the rings from minimum distance over here. So setting up bin line, then I'm pushing up until I'm having the yellow by the rough. Then I'm trying to place my spins. I'm always using free left spin. The top spin can vary over here. What you want to see is the second bounce, it's cleared by the rough there. Otherwise, you might actually clip it. So here I'm using all free left spin, and I'm leaving the ball guide just short by 1 green square at the hole. Over here, I'm adjusting the slider number that I came up with. So I did 2.5% per ring when I'm pushing up. And that's the slider that I'm using here, plus 10% downhill with P2 numbers. Unfortunately, over here, I used P3 numbers. And P2 will just remove 0.1 from the adjustment. I'm just going on the left side of the hole and spinning out like a slingshot. I'm hoping you're dropping, because it's not really hard approach shot. The thing that it's definitely a deal breaker over here, it's actually the drive. If you get the drive correctly, the approach, it's not that hard. So focus on that, and then try to get the eagle over here. And let's move on to hole number 7. On hole number 7, we're going to start with the basic ball to not place accidentally left or right side spin. After that, we're going to place 4.2 backspin and switch to a navigator. I do recommend to have a wind below 6.5 miles an hour, since I missed it with like 6.8 and 7.2 miles an hour winds, but I always got it with winds below that. So close with the white ring by the rough, with the ball guide at the hole, there's a sticky spot over here. I'm adjusting here max plus 10 P3 numbers with the sniper level 10 setting. So if you have a sniper level 8 or 9 or a 7, I would suggest you switch in your application and use a sniper 10 in order to have the same amount of rings that we are pulling here. Try to center your ball and hit perfect. This one drops nicely on the fringe there and rolls, going in the hole, hitting the pin on its way down. Hope you get hole number 7. Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you didn't do so. Let's move on to hole number 8. On hole number 8, we have actually the worst wind that we can possibly get, which is a headwind. Unfortunately, on this wind, we're not gonna go on the left side, so we're gonna lay up on the right side. I'm using here 2.5 left spin and 3 top spin with my extra mile level 8. At plus 2 yard mark, I am with the white ring by the rough on the left side. That's gonna be your reference, ring reference. And here I am adjusting normally and hit perfect. I'm getting around 333, 334, 335 yards. Let's move to the approach shot. On second shot, I recommend you have a Goliath in your bag. Here I'm doing a fringe check, the one with the nice on intersection, and was at plus 2 yard mark. Plus 2 yard mark, we're gonna place 68%. I'm placing the green ring, the inner ring, by the rough fairway line, and here the top spin can vary. Always using free left spin and having 0.6 green squares offset to the right side. This is due to adjusting downhill, and we're gonna lose a bit of distance. The problem here is we compensate for that losing distance while increasing the elevation to 25%. But that will make us go more to the left. So instead of doing a angle pull, we're just offsetting to the right for that compensation. This one goes really nicely, very nice speed. Be sure to have at least one green square, the ball guide through the hole, and try to hit that perfect. Let's move on to hole number 9. Hole number 9, we're gonna play ourselves with a big topper. Here, after stretching to max, I'm going with the red ring halfway inside the rough with my big topper level 5. If you have a big topper level 4, we're gonna be at 60% of the red inside the rough. And if you have a 6, we're gonna be 25% of red ring in the rough. So I'm placing the spins. Now I'm moving more to the left side here. In the video here, I'm playing with the 7 topspin and 2 left spin. I do strongly suggest, because I did had the max wind and we're going a bit too far. So 6.5 topspin, it's all you need. Here I'm using all the left curl that big topper level 4 and 5 has. If you have a big topper level 6, try to match this curl. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bit more curl than shown here in the video. I'm bouncing nicely and rolls close to 390 yards. Oh, this one was 395. We're trying to avoid to get over 394 yards. This one was just a bit over, so that's why I'm also suggesting you to use a bit less topspin. So let's move on the approach shot. And over here, we're gonna go with the sniper. I'm gonna count the rings from minimum distance. I'm pushing up 5 rings over here, so I'm suggesting you guys to use at least 5 rings, because otherwise you'll not be able to adjust for the wind. I'm doing here between 2 to 5 backspin, depending on how long or short you are, to have the ball guide half a green square short of the hole. After that, I'm adjusting 0% P4 from the slider. So if I push the 5 rings, I'm gonna go with 12% slider. So I'm using 2.5% slider per ring pushed. Here I'm centering the ball and hitting perfect. Now the ball jumps nicely and rolls dead center for the pin for a nice albatross. So guys, there you have it. I think definitely a -20 is there. With some luck on that long par 4, you can get an eagle as well, and you can get a -21. So let me know what you scored in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. Also, do not forget to check Tommy's Patreon if you do want to have the text guide and support me doing this. Until later, good luck on your round. Bye bye.